This is a snippet I'll incorporate into a longer video. It's the 19th of March, but this video won't be submitted until probably Friday, whatever the date is there, the 22nd, because I don't have time to do much today. I got my front end kit here, the steering kit with the center linkage and tie rod ends and so forth that are in there. And on eBay it says PST, but it's actually Cantor Auto. So Cantor's a good name, so I got a halfway decent price on this, I think. I like that it's a complete kit and everything's in there, so I haven't even opened this yet. So you get to experience this with me. How exciting, right? Yeah, okay, you're probably bored. So here's one of the outer tie rods. Oh, more boxes to open, so maybe I won't bore you with that part. And these are a pair of shocks from Rock Auto. I don't know if they're front or rear, so let's find out if we can figure it out. These are Gabriel Classics. Uh, let's see what we got in here. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, these are the front. These are the front shocks. So good. That's good because I wanted to get the front done first anyway, since the rear of the car is not accessible right now as long as the front's up in the air. So let me open up the other two boxes here real quick. All right, so the rest of it's open now. The most important item in this whole package is right here, the center link. These things always seem to wear out, especially the part that connects to the pitman arm. I don't know if this is an improved design or not. I don't know, but at least it does have grease fittings. I didn't realize the adjusting sleeves for the tie rods were so beefy. These things are heavy, so I'm glad that was included as part of the kit too, so I don't have to reuse my old ones. And then here's the new idler arm and the outer tie rods. So just waiting now on the rear shocks and that bearing sleeve for the steering column. That's the stuff I'm waiting for. I should have it all before the end of the week. So here's my game plan. This is stuff I can do inside my shed. Got the old setup here to use as a pattern. The tie rod, center link, all that stuff. That way I can start assembling my new stuff since I have all the same pieces new now. I'll use the vise to kind of hold things in place as I attach the inner tie rods and the idler arm. Get those on and I'll torque them down to specs, which reminds me I forgot to bring my shop manual out here. And the sleeves, the adjusting sleeves, I will attempt to get them in the same relative position that they're in right now. In fact, looking at it, I can actually assemble the two tie rod ends together using that sleeve. So maybe I'll use a ruler or something to kind of measure the length of each one. Put those together first. All right, I've completed unpacking my new equipment here and installing the grease fittings where they belong. Unfortunately, no matter how careful I tried to be, I still managed to drop one of these teeny tiny little black ones, hit my black gloved hand, and I have no idea where it went. So I had to steal one from the old setup. I mean, it's not a big deal, I suppose, but it is an annoyance. What can I say? What I find interesting is that these must come from different manufacturers. The inner tie rods have a different finish to them and slightly bigger fittings as far as the nut size. These are 8 millimeter. These are 7 millimeter. And the one I had to borrow was an 8 millimeter for my old set, but you know, it'll do the trick. So now what I'm going to do is mount my center link in that vise over there. Try not to scratch it up, but you know, hold it so I can then start mounting the tie rods. Actually, before I do that, I forgot I'm going to put the two tie rods together, the inner and outer. Take care of that first. Get the sleeves on, and then I'll mount that stuff in the vise and go on. So the first thing I have to do is make sure I have this center link oriented correctly because it does matter. You can face it the wrong way, having it out of the car like I have it. So I have to be very careful to make sure I'm facing it the right way. So I know that the either arm goes on this side and the pitman arm will go on that side when it goes back in the car. So now I can safely mount it in the vise, tighten that down, and continue on. So I'm going under the assumption that the number of threads on the ends of these tie rods on the old ones are the same as the new ones. So what I'm going to do for my initial go with this with the sleeve is I'm going to count the number of exposed threads I see here on both sides, and I'm going to put the sleeve on there so that it looks just like this with a number of threads. And then I'm also going to measure, after I do that, I'll measure from end to end just to double check that everything is the same as far as that initial adjustment goes. My lack of experience just reared its head. I thought there was something wrong with the threads on this side because I couldn't get it to screw in. And then it finally dawned on me, oh yeah, it's probably right-hand threads. And sure enough, if you turn it the opposite direction, it screws in just fine. So glad I thought about that because I was beginning to wonder if I should try something else, like tightening these bolts up a little bit or something weird like that. So anyway, I'm getting there, little at a time. So what I did is I measured from this bolt to this bolt. I guess it's not really bolts, maybe they're studs. I got 22 inches. So I measured that same measurement on the old setup with the same number of threads exposed on both sides, about 13, and I came up with about 22 inches. So that's about as close as I can get it, just eyeballing it. So that'll be, close enough to safely drive it to the mechanic shop for new tires and then a front end alignment. So I'll do the same procedure on the right side. Oh, and I guess since I measured it that way, I can go ahead and put the one stud right there in that part of the center link since I measured specifically on the passenger side. So I want to make sure I keep the sides correct too for the measurements, even though they might be the same on both sides. I don't know that yet. I'm glad that I'm maintaining the correct sides on the tie rods because this side is significantly shorter. There are a lot fewer threads exposed on the adjusting sleeve, and the whole length from stud to stud is a full inch less. These are only 21 inches from end to end, so that's significantly different than the other side, which I didn't expect. I don't know why. I just assumed it would be kind of symmetrical, but obviously that's not the case. So I've got my tie rods on the passenger side already they're not bolted down, they're not torqued down or anything like that, plus the idler arm, and I'm following the same orientation that I have here to keep things straight. It should be safe for me to torque that down and torque this down, which I will do once I have the other tie rods in place. So now I'm going to assemble the last two new ones here together with that last sleeve. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I also am lubricating all the threads with WD-40. I have no idea if that's a good idea, a bad idea, indifferent. I just feel better putting some lubrication on those threads. Okay, I'm going to torque down the tie rods here to the center link. The book has a range of 40 to 55 foot-pounds, so I've got it at 40 right now. Start at the lower end so I can have room to adjust when I need to adjust for the cotter key. Hmm. Tell you what, I don't trust this torque wrench, making me nervous. I'm going to use that old-fashioned one with the pointer on it, because it always feels like it's tightening too much. 40 foot-pounds isn't that tight. I feel like I've already passed that point. So this one's off a little bit, but it should at least give me an idea. I'm close or not already. Oh yeah, I'm definitely close according to this. That torque wrench, maybe I'm going to have to replace it. That makes me nervous, like I might be over-tightening it. All right, I'm wrapping up this brief update. This linkage is now ready to be reinstalled on the car. So that's pretty exciting. So I put these to torque, and I put the cotter keys in them. These three spots right here. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's black. Sorry, I lost track of it. Um, and I'll keep that as a pattern until I've got this one installed, and then I can get rid of it. Metal recycling. So this is exciting. I just wish I had time over the next couple of days to put it in, but I have to wait until Friday. The next 2 days are going to be busy working. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and grease up these fittings too, the ones that I tightened down, because why not? One less thing to do under the car.